Travel mattress sets. And save up to $800 on Stearns & Foster sets. Plus, save up to $900 on Purple. Only at Ashley.
News 12, voted best weather coverage by the Georgia Association of Broadcasters. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Some emotional moments in court today as Alec Murdaugh takes the stand in his own double murder trial.
I can see his brain laying on the sidewalk. I didn't know what to do.
Hear what he told jurors about the death of his wife and his son.
But first, law enforcement ruled his death as suicide, but our I-team found investigators did not recover fingerprints on the gun, bullets, knife, or cell phones lying next to Tyreek Robinson's body. Robinson died a week after the election for the school board and becoming the youngest person elected to the Richmond County Board of Education ever.
Also perplexing is Robinson's family discovering missing emails and texts deleted from his phone between Tyreek and his mentor after the sheriff's office returned their son's phone back to them. Our senior investigator, Liz Owens, continues to investigate the death of a politician.
Tyreek died a day after his mentor went public with allegations he stole money from her and their business. But messages and emails combined with court records filed after his death show there is much more to the story.
This is the Austin Rhodes Show podcast. The Rhodes Rewind.
Tyreek, thank you for joining us. Basically, what we're being told is a lady that has been serving as your mentor for a number of years and invested heavily in your business is accusing you of stealing money from her, not only to run the business, but apparently spending some of the company money on campaign expenditures. What do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, the allegations that she has put out there are false. Now, I met this person in the beginning of this year.
Tyreek Robinson met Melissa Oden through his godmother, her hairdresser, in January of 2022. Melissa needed a driver for one of her many companies. The 20-year-old had a CDL license.
When Tyreek came out of the military, he wanted to start his own business. So it was originally a Robinson Enterprises. He was going to, kind of do trucking and transportation and stuff like that. Well, then we met her.
Documents obtained by the I-team from the South Carolina Secretary of State's office list Melissa Oden as 40% owner of Dream Transportation, with her son, godson, and Tyreek each 20% owner. Photos and video on Tyreek's cell phone show another side of their relationship.
They were either out to eat together or they was on a trip together. He went out of town with her quite a bit,
including a trip to a casino in North Carolina, which ended in an assault. In her statement to the Cherokee Indian Police Department, Melissa says her ex-boyfriend flew all the way here from Texas because he heard she was going to be here and was bringing the young man. Oden stated he thought there was something sexual happening between the two of them and came to confront Robinson. Melissa sent this text to Tyreek months later. Ty, Lindsay wants to know how much for you to write a letter, not to press charges. $8,500? Actually, make it $10K.
He said that Melissa wanted him to not go forward with it. He said, Mom, I got to go forward with it.
Melissa asked the district attorney to move the date of the hearing, originally set for Tuesday, November 8th, Election Day. On Wednesday, the day after the election, Melissa texts Tyreek, I don't even want to talk to your ass right now. You lied yesterday about using my credit card. It's sad that you're willing to ruin your reputation and possibly life over lies. On Thursday, the Board of Election confirmed to the I-team that Tyreek inquired about resigning just after being elected. On Friday, Melissa texts the I-team, Liz, Melissa Oden, I have a very important story to tell you about a newly elected official who has been stealing. She told the I-team she would file a report with the sheriff's office on Wednesday when she returned from an out-of-town trip. On Tuesday,
911, do you need police, fire, or an ambulance?
Tyreek's brother found him dead.
Okay. Money?
Melissa Oden never filed a theft report with the sheriff's office against Tyreek, and the case against her ex-boyfriend in Cherokee never went to court.
And she has decided that, it's really not appropriate for her to even comment on this issue that occurred in Cherokee or
Randy Frales represents Melissa. He also represents the agency that investigated Tyreek's death. Prior to representing the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, he donated heavily to Richard Roundtree's campaign for sheriff. Tyreek Robinson also consulted with Frales and Wilson's attorney law firm. The I-Team obtained this email where he requested their help with an open records request to the Board of Education for salary information.
It seems a little confusing to me because if it's inappropriate because he's dead, why did she file paperwork in probate against his estate and his family?
Tyreek's family went to file as an executor of his estate in December. They discovered Melissa had filed a claim against the estate as a creditor. Randy Frale's name is listed as her attorney on the probate papers.
That was just like another sucker punch, like another gut punch, like pouring salt on a wound. Just don't even begin to describe the anger and shock that I felt in that moment.
Melissa's filing contains claims of fraudulent financial transactions she says Tyreek made while he was alive. The same allegations she made before his death but never went to the sheriff's office about, which includes claims of using her personal credit card to purchase a billboard for his campaign and an airline ticket for a friend. The filing also contains a claim for a van registered under Tyreek's name for Dream Transportation.
I guess it's just confusing to me. Like, I mean, she had a pretty tight relationship with him for a year. I mean, and, you know, it's inappropriate to talk about Cherokee, but you want the van back. So, and it's not like she's hurting for money.
Well, Liz, now let's be clear. That's your rendition of their relationship. You just said they had a tight relationship. I've never said that, and I don't believe Mr. Bowden has even said that.
One of the things that she told me is she said she's going to make me great. And, you know, I took the vision, and I thought that was one of the best things I heard being young, but not realizing it came with preposterous control.
I had people say, you know, your son would have changed Richmond County.
What do you think led to his death?
I honestly don't know. I just feel like it's more to the story.
The day after we talked to Melissa's attorney, Tyreek's family received an email from him offering them $5,000 for the return of the van they did not accept. So Randy Frales was going to pay the family $5,000 to get the van.
The van that's in his name, yes.
Okay, and why did the family deny that?
They really believe there's so much more to the story. They said a month before the election, a month before he died, Tyreek expressed he was receiving threats, and he was so concerned, he even said, I've got to move Mom and his son out of Richmond County. So we're still digging through all these documents, court records, emails, and text messages to hopefully get some answers for this family.
I know there's a lot of smoke with this case, and we know you'll keep digging until you get to the bottom of it, Liz. Thanks.
Moving on now, a live look outside from our says if this bill gets out of the state Senate and through the House on time, voters could have a say on the matter as early as November. Disbarred South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh taking the stand in his own murder trial today. He's charged with killing his wife Maggie and his younger son Paul.
It was an emotional day for Murdaugh. He wrote down in tears multiple times as the defense questioned him, not the prosecution, and he admitted on the stand he lied to police about where he was before the killings. He said his opioid addiction and mistrust in police made him paranoid. Murdaugh said he wasn't thinking clearly and apologized to his family.
I would never intentionally do anything to hurt either one of them. Ever.
The prosecution had the chance to cross-examine him, and he did admit to several financial crimes, a whole slew of them, and they kind of ended up in gridlock, so they dismissed for the day. But the defense could rest its case as soon as Friday, putting it in the hands of the jury by next week. Some would call the CSRA the golf capital of the country. Now there's another course being added to the mix.
Plus, the community celebrating local legends for Black History Month. A look at the fun and what they learned coming up here on News 12.
Time and temp. Brought to you.
Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
The accident was not my fault.
When you're injured, you need help fast. Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nights.
You need someone that's gonna fight for you. Call now.
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nights.
We're celebrating
all nights.
From Jesse Norman to Lucy Kraft Laney, Augusta's Black history is rich. And today, the community got together to celebrate local legends you've heard about and some you might not have heard about.
Our Hallie Turner gives us a look.
A travel back in time to what once was.
I have been a part of the Augusta community for more than 50 years. I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, was born in Prosperity, South Carolina, where the Jim Crow law was highly recommended.
For Sarah Townsend, a celebration like this, singing, dancing, was something she couldn't do 50 years ago.
You couldn't go to the lunch counter, you couldn't go and buy ice cream sandwich. Sometimes they would let you come around to the back door to get that ice cream sandwich.
It is a reminder of just how far they've come.
It's important for us to know about Black history, where we as Black people came from, what the struggle was for us. There's no way for us to sugarcoat it.
Sarah says her connection with James Brown reminds her how he made a mark on the world and Augusta one day at a time.
James Brown grew up mostly like I did.
And became a household name.
You look back to some of the things he says, I am Black and I'm proud.
Maurice McDowell says that's the entire point of today, remembrance and growth.
The community that came before me, they are the pillars, they are the bedrock of everything for Parks and Recreation, everything for the city of Augusta. So I don't take that lightly.
And our celebration of Black History Month will continue. Right now, we're switching gears to weather and a live look there at Top Golf just to make us all...
Could be a little bit cooler Saturday afternoon. By Sunday, we're warm again. High temps back close to 80.
Hitting a pothole in the road is a surefire way to pick up some road rage usually, but there's something you can do about the damage. We'll show you next.
Plus, break out the golf clubs, get ready to tee it up. It is Aiken's newest golf course when we come back here on News 12.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
We know living in Augusta or anywhere in the Southeast, it is impossible to escape the game of golf. For people who love to take on new courses, you're going to have the perfect chance starting next week.
A new course in Aiken designed by pro golfer Zach Blair is opening for preview play. Our Will Volk has the sneak peek.
Zach Blair has golfed at a lot of courses in his career, but he's always dreamed of having one of his own.
I think the more cool places I saw definitely, piqued my interest and thought it would be something fun to do.
He's made many trips here the last couple years to watch an old tree farm become the tree farm, our area's newest course.
The property was pretty sweet. The area, I think in general, people love golf.
Blair says that's one of the big reasons he built it here.
It's been really awesome to see how, I would say, the locals, in Aiken have been excited about the project.
He knows how important golf is in this area, especially in April.
That's a cool time of the year, obviously. There's a bunch of golf fans in from around the world, so we'll see how it goes.
Blair says the course isn't extremely challenging. He just wants it to be a place to have a good time.
Nothing crazy in terms of, it's not the hardest course you've ever played, but it's just, a fun place to bring people and play golf.
Zach Blair has played a lot of courses, but this one is different. It's his. In Aiken County, Will Volk, on your side.
And Blair tells us preview play next week is for members only. He wants to open the course up to more people, of course, during tournament week. The Georgia Cancer Center out there teaching neighbors about healthy living today. This afternoon, neighbors in the M.M. Scott housing community got to learn about different ways to prevent cancer. They also exercise together. The Cancer Center has done this kind of event at Peabody Apartments and Irvin Towers as well.
Well, 1 minute you're driving, the next you're looking at thousands of dollars in damage just because you ran over a pothole. We've heard from a lot of you about the issues around Augusta, and the city says they're constantly working to fix those. Just last month, they filled just under 130 potholes. Our Taylor Martin is on your side with what you can do if you fall victim to one they haven't filled.
Vicki Richardson has lived on Hepzibah McBean Road for the past 3 years. She says up until a few days ago, the road was flooded with potholes. Even now that they've been filled, she worries they'll continue to be a problem.
When they're wearing down, the good pavement is stressed. So sooner or later, it's going to be a trough there. And I'm worried somebody's going to flip the car in it.
The city engineering department says potholes like the ones here on Bertram Road cost anywhere from $300 to $500 to fill, and that process begins with a call to Augusta 311. Dr. Malik with the engineering department tells me they try to respond to these calls as quickly as possible, but the $5 million of SPLOST funds allocated to paving the roads just isn't enough.
If we know there's a pothole, somebody call us. We try to look at that within 24 hours or 48 hours and try to, get it fixed.
In 2022, the city filled 1,337 potholes, and in January of this year, they filled 127. But some people are saying that's still not enough. The roads need to be repaved. Dr. Malik tells me they're currently working on repaving some areas in South Augusta, like Burning Tree Lane.
Dr. Malik says you likely will not get reimbursed unless it was a pothole the city already knew about and failed to fill it. So the best advice, if you see a pothole, report it to Augusta 311 so they can be on receipt there. To do that, just look for this My Augusta 311 page on augustaga.gov. We'll put a link on our website for you.
And looking ahead to that weekend forecast, we are expecting a few showers to linger early Saturday, but dry again by Sunday, and those high temps much warmer again by Sunday, close to 80 degrees. Now look at that 7-day just after the break.
Your safety comes first with the First Alert Radar Network. First just got faster.
The accident was not my fault.
When you're injured, you need help fast. Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nights.
You need someone that's gonna fight for you. Call now.
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nights.